Well, this chapter of Boku no Hero, I had to film it before I go to work, so like I can't wait to talk about this, man. Like I'm so excited. I'm glad I'm actually filming this before I leave, to be honest, because I couldn't wait the whole day. So yeah, it's the point of singularity. That's the main thing that I kind of want to talk about. But like this chapter, man, I'm kind of confused. Now, the point of singularity, what singularity is, I had to be checking up on these definitions, to be honest, even like in layman's terms. But so in layman's terms, the singularity is something which is like different, unusual, of a different kind. But and then obviously in its direct definition, in terms of technology, it's like when artificial intelligence comes, we'll reach a point of singularity where when that point comes, we're gonna like have exponential growth, like in development of technology, in research, all that kind of stuff. Um, and what's the other one? The other one is like I swear one of the definitions was like the point of being singular, and I was just like, that helps a lot. So yeah, so this is what he says. The first use of one for all. He says that we've long passed since the point of singularity. And then everyone's talking about the point of singularity, it must be all for one's quirk and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think it is, but I feel like people are kind of applying it to the future, and I'm like, well, the way that I read the chapter and the way that it looked like to me, it seems like that was in the past. Now, we know that of One for All's quirk was something different. We know that it wasn't like any of the quirks before. Also, All for One, like both these two quirks, there's something they are different. They're not the normal quirks. They're merged. Well, All for One's quirk isn't merged, but One for All is it's a what's it called? It's a stockpiling quirk coupled with a quirk to pass on a quirk. So yeah, so maybe that's what he was referring to. That was the singularity. That was the quirk, which was something unlike anything else, and it implies that it's gonna keep building and building and building and get stronger than anything else. I remember I was gonna say, is it the provisional license exam, or it's when Bakugo, Todoroki, and all them when they're like kind of resitting it, when they're retaking it. Um, there's a line that someone says, and it's the quirk singularity, and it's the fact that after each generation after generation, the quirks are just gonna get stronger and stronger until a point where it becomes the most all-powerful quirk. So maybe it's referring to that, and the fact that Deku, he's seen this all at 20%. The user said that. And obviously Deku is the strongest all for one for all quirk user. He's the strongest. He's stronger than All Might. So Deku's 100% will be stronger than All Might's 100% and so forth, all that kind of stuff. So if you think about it, he's probably stronger than even the first All for One user. One for all user, if you get what I'm saying. So there is obviously like a lot of hope riding on Deku and all this kind of stuff. But it is intriguing that maybe he's the one that's going to reach this of all for one for all users. Maybe he's going to reach the quirk singularity in the sense that he will be the strongest quirk user as well. Now let's talk about that last page. If you look in the previous page, or maybe page 14 or one of those kind of pages, the first user reaches his hand out to Deku, and Deku reaches his hand out back to him. And like that's when he says like, "You're not alone." How awesome is that line? Like, oh my gosh, I was getting vibes, I was getting the chills, like, cause that is so mad. He's just saying like, this is pretty mad if you think about it. He's only saying you're not alone, to imply that their presence is gonna be of help, or it's gonna be of a significance to them. So yeah, this is kind of crazy because for one, All Might experience or what All Might told Deku was very different to what Deku just experienced in this chapter. All Might said you can't interact with them, you can't do anything. They're just really there, like just a sign basically. So it may be either All Might, there's something that Deku's experiencing now that All Might never experienced. We know that through Deku training this quirk, using this quirk, it was very different to All Might. All Might didn't really have these kind of problems. I think he said it himself, like, yeah, he's always kind of been able to use it. He was always a big guy anyway. Yeah, so just a little bit of an interjection. If you guys go on Reddit, there's a guy I can't remember his name, but I'll probably put it down in the description below. But basically, he's translated it or scanlated it. Or fanlated it, lol. Basically he translated the My Hero Academia Volume Zero Origins. Now, if you don't know about that, the movie which came out yesterday, I need to watch that film. Can't wait. It's gonna actually be amazing. Basically, the movie which came out yesterday, they released an origin chapter with it as well, and it's actually awesome. Like reading that and this is like all within kind of similar timelines. So it's when All Might's actually he's an 18-year-old. I'm not gonna spoil it. To be honest, there's not really much to spoil. But I'll give you the premise. So All Might, he's just graduating basically from high school, and it's like the last time you see Shimura and Nana. So it's like the fight from 6 years ago that all of us guys have been screaming about. We've been screaming about this from day since like the Kamino Award arc, like in the manga. So how many years ago was that? 2 years ago. We've been screaming for this flashback, and we finally get it. So yeah, this reveals a lot. It gives a lot of information on it, and it's very helpful. And it's actually kind of heartbreaking as well, just to see how it happened and just see All Might, young All Might as well. So yeah. Other than that, at the end of the chapter, they reach out his hands, and the first you see on Deku's hands, he's got like it gave what's the word? It looks like it's not scales, but like yeah, kind of like scales or like reptilian, like chameleon kind of patterns. That's what I got from it. But yeah, so when the first user touched him, something happened. Now, what is happening? I know a lot of people talking about how if you look in that page, Deku's scars aren't there anymore. So let's throw out a couple of theories right now because yeah, we don't really know what it is. He says that you can only handle 20%. That's what he said to Deku. That's why he can only show Deku so much because maybe he couldn't take it. You even see like his basically he doesn't have any legs. Like the man doesn't have an abdomen. He has like up to here and like his right hand. So that correlates to how much he can control of the quirk as well. So maybe in him touching him, Deku's now unlocked a little bit more power. Or like he's been healed, or I saw a theory of how by him doing that now Deku, because bear in mind these previous these previous one for all users, they had other quirks as well. So maybe Deku's able to tap in or access those quirks, or that sign is like an access, you could say, into like to accessing the previous users to be able to communicate with them, and talk with them. Maybe something like that. Either way, I'm really intrigued because All Might didn't experience that. If All Might did, he would have told Deku. So yeah, this is something that maybe All Might never experienced, and this is really a first for Deku. I'm really intrigued. I just loved the chapter, man. It was just so like awesome. The hype levels were there because like he touches Deku's hand, and like all of a sudden like the room just like gets destroyed. So while Deku was sleeping, like he was on all for one, one for all full cow. So like yeah, man, I'm just so hyped, and the fact that Aoyama comes through, like that's just crazy. Like their friendship's kind of hilarious, but it's very budding. Like it's a budding bromance which is happening. So that's kind of cool to see. But yeah, other than that, we basically get a backstory on just where it all began. You know, all for one. He sees himself as like a savior. Like he's helping these people because some people don't want quirks and some people do. So he kind of does like the little switcheroo, and he's like, in me doing this, you now work for me. You can now help me. And at first it's just like, yeah, seems fair, seems legit, but in the people that don't agree with him, he just kills them off. He even says he's got a bodyguard, he calls himself famous, so like he's getting very proud. And I really love this characterization on his point. Like it's interesting to see because in this chapter, obviously this is at the very beginning, so when we've seen All for One, we've seen a very seasoned man, we've seen a matured man, and he's been through a lot. So it's very interesting to see how he was when he was very young and the way that he spoke with his brother as well. So yeah, I just really had the thought, if Deku can now talk to the previous users of One for All, is it like their souls are within the quirk? Like I don't even know. But the fact that he can talk, at first I was thinking maybe it's like some Superman kind of thing. Do you know how like when he goes to his fortress of solitude and he can like talk to his father? But I'm thinking maybe it's something a bit more than that. I don't know. But like the man showed him the past. So like I just like I'm hoping Horikoshi doesn't leave this next chapter and he goes back onto something else. Like let's continue on this, please. Like come on. But yeah, I really do love how Horikoshi he gives us what we want when we don't see it coming. I think that's what to say because literally, I said this in the previous chapter. Like the man just throws red herrings at us like they're cupcakes, because like he did it with Todoroki and the whole household, all that kind of stuff with Dabi, and then like Horikoshi's just like, yeah, that's enough of that, and he comes in with Deku and all this quirk mystery and background and history and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen next. And just like, yeah, what's the All Might's reaction going to be to this? Either he was lying and he did experience this, or he never experienced it at all. So yeah, with that, that's going to be very interesting to see. But at the end of the day, something happened to Deku with his hand, and this is going to impact him very positively. Either he's going to get stronger in his quirk, he's going to be able to go back to this and like speak with the first user, or even with other users. Like imagine he could speak with Shimura and Nana. That'd be pretty awesome. Or like maybe he got healed. I don't know. But yeah, it's gonna be a bit mad, to be honest, to see what's happening next chapter. So that's enough from me, guys. Please tell me what you thought about this chapter in the comments below. Horikoshi really dropped a lot on us, and yeah, man, I'm just gonna have to be rereading this chapter again, to be honest, because I feel like there was just even so much more. So guys, please tell me your thoughts in the comments below. This is Shingami-san. Peace out and goodbye.